Clark Lea, UCLA Linebackers coach with us again. What did you see in the film after breaking down the Kansas State game?
Well, I mean, obviously a lot of disappointing things, and anytime you review a film after a game like that, you're going to see some things that are displeasing and that you got to get better at. And I think the guys responded today, came out, worked hard, and tried to correct some of the issues we're having. And I think that there are also some positives on that film too, and some things that we can build on as a group that's young. And for Sean Westgate and Patrick Limmer, first game start, to get those jitters out of the way and kind of break them in as starters is a good thing too. But certainly we were disappointed.
Clark, obviously the big issue that everyone's talking about is the tackling, and yet just from, I guess, a purely football standpoint, were you more concerned with the positioning of the guys and where they were in the defense and maybe the assignment issue, or the actual wrapping and taking of guys down?
There actually were fewer assignment errors.
Really?
It was more tackling issue.
Really?
I mean, I think what happened was what they say, fatigue makes cowards of us all.
Yeah.
And what I saw was
Did you get that from Rick?
No, did he just say the same thing?
He said the same thing last week.
Well, I'll tell you this. I saw a group that early in the game was gangbusters and was flying around, and the tempo we played at early was championship tempo. And then I saw a group in the third and fourth quarter that faded. We got to find the answer for that, and it comes in the way we practice, and it's just cranking up the intensity, pushing yourself every snap, and then if you need some extra conditioning, things like that, it's not a matter of not working it, because we tackle every day, and it's that when you get tired, your fundamentals go.
Your concentration goes.
That's exactly right. We got to find a way to eliminate that.
Clark, obviously as a young linebackers coach and dealing with younger guys like this, from your personal experience, how do you convey that to them? How do you say, how do you pull a guy aside and kind of shake him and say, in the third quarter, this is when we need you?
I guess there's two answers to that. The first is, for me, the guys I'm dealing with right now are all desire to be champions, all right? And they came here to win. They've worked hard all off season to win. And so I don't have to convince them that that's the mission here. I think human nature is to as things go, is to not be as hard, not be your harshest critic. Yeah. And that's where we got to get better. And that's where I got to pull guys and say, hey, is this good enough for us? Is this good enough for you? Or how can we get better? And those are the conversations that happen, away from the field that I use to kind of spur guys along. Now, with some of the younger guys, true freshmen that are trying to play, you do have to light a fire. And not that they don't want it either, they just don't know how to do it yet.
Yeah.
But the veterans, the guys that have been around, look, it's not a matter of what's inside their chest, boy, because their hearts are beating and they want it bad. It's just up to me to show them and the coaching staff to show them how to get done what they want to accomplish.
Clark, last thing for you. You talked about seeing some good things. I think Patrick Limmer is probably a pretty pleasant surprise, especially in that first half. What's the key for him this year, or at least in game 2? What's the key for him?
Well, shoot, we're going to face a team that's going to want to run football again, and Stanford does enough things formationally to challenge him mentally. I was encouraged by Pat's awareness on the field, the way he handled the defense. Limited mental errors, which was good to see. And at the end of the day, he played fast. He really did some nice things. Now, obviously, things that were left something to be desired too. But the challenge for him in week 2 is to continue to improve and not to be satisfied just because you made it through and you survived. At the end, we still gave up 315 yards rushing.
Yeah.
So do your part to make sure that the defense is set, ready to play, and limits our mistakes.
Good stuff. Clark Lea, UCLA Linebackers coach. Thanks, man.
Yeah.